Would you cheat if no one could ever find out? Whether it's a test, a game, or even life itself, the answer might surprise you. Today, we're diving into a fascinating experiment that reveals how anonymity can shape our honesty, and what it means for the world we live in. Here's how it worked. Participants were invited to solve a series of puzzles. The more puzzles they solved correctly, the more money they earned. But here's the catch. They graded their own work, with no one watching, and simply reported their scores. Now, the researchers had rigged the test. They knew that solving all the puzzles was almost impossible within the time limit. If someone claimed a perfect score, chances were, they had cheated. The question was, would they? The results were shocking, but also predictable. Many participants cheated, but not in the way you might expect. Most didn't claim outrageous scores, instead they added just a few extra correct answers to pad their results. Just enough to get ahead, but not enough to feel guilty. Why? Psychologists call this ethical fading. It's when we convince ourselves that small acts of dishonesty aren't really wrong. It's a way to cheat, but still feel like a good person. The key factor here, anonymity. When people feel like no one's watching, their moral compass becomes a little flexible. This applies to more than just tests. Think about anonymous surveys, online reviews, or even social media. The more invisible we feel, the bolder and sometimes more dishonest we become. Whether it's inflating a score, leaving a nasty comment, or bending the truth, anonymity lowers the stakes and makes it easier to act on selfish impulses. But this experiment goes beyond just academic cheating. It raises questions about how we behave in every part of life. In the workplace, anonymous feedback can sometimes lead to harsh or unfair critiques. In online spaces, anonymity has given rise to trolling and misinformation, and in politics, secret ballots are designed to protect voters, but could they also allow dishonesty in decision-making? At the heart of this behavior is a psychological tug-of-war. On one hand, we want to maximize our self-interest. On the other, we want to think of ourselves as good, honest people. Anonymity tips the scales, making it easier to cheat while protecting our self-image. The cheating experiment shows us how fragile our moral compass can be when no one is watching. So what can we learn from this? While anonymity can create opportunities for dishonesty, introducing even subtle forms of accountability can change behavior. Something as simple as signing your name or knowing someone is observing you can encourage fairness and honesty. Accountability doesn't mean surveillance, it means creating environments where people feel connected to their actions and their consequences. In the end, the cheating experiment isn't just about puzzles or tests. It's about who we are when the world isn't looking. So, ask yourself, if no one would ever find out, would you still do the right thing? Thanks for watching. If you found this experiment as fascinating as we did, hit like, subscribe, and tell us, what would you do in a situation like this?